everyone. Thanks for joining us today here at inkFrog. So this webinar we're going to be doing today is going to be talking through the mapping existing eBay listings to your existing store products, which is during the import process. Let me go ahead and start sharing the screen here. All right, hopefully everyone can see my screen now. Okay, so this is obviously what your inkFrog account looks like. We're here in the library currently. And like I said, today what we're gonna go through is importing existing products from a store, either a Shopify, a BigCommerce, or an Amazon store. For today's purposes, we're gonna be using a Shopify. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through a scenario where there's existing eBay listings and then mapping them during the import process. One of the first key things is at any time in your library, you are able to view any items that may not be linked to an already imported store product. To easily do that, you'll come into your library here and then select your filter listings of a not linked to store. You'll add your filter. Now you can either just use it as a one-time thing. You just want to see a quick snapshot of, oh, hey, here's all my listings that are considered eBay-only listings, meaning they're not linked to an imported store product. Therefore, the items are currently going to sync between inkFrog and eBay only. Or you can go ahead and save this search for something to refer back to each time in the library. Go ahead and save it. It'll become then a searchable tab here in your inkFrog library, which will always pull up any items that are not currently linked to an imported store product. So we'll go ahead and get started here. And today we're going to focus on 5 products, so these top 5 products here. And I'm going to run through a few different scenarios during the import that you may run into. So again, this mapping process can only be done during the import process. Once products are imported from your store, there's not a way to link them once they're already within the inkFrog system. So this will happen during your import process. So we'll go ahead and select this one, that other one. All right, we got 2 more here. All right. So now here we have 5 products that we're going to want to map to the existing products, the existing eBay listings that are in the inkFrog library currently. Now, listings, the existing eBay listings, currently the ones that we have here for this particular demonstration, were only in ready status, but you're also able to link imported store products to live listings as well. Okay, so we see a few different scenarios here. A link symbol, meaning that there was a product here that was automatically linked through the system, meaning that everything between the title, SKUs, everything matched with the Shopify product as well as the existing eBay listing. So the system was automatically able to map this Shopify product to the eBay listing. One here is showing that it's importing as a new product, meaning that there might be something a little bit off where the system's not able to auto-detect that eBay listing exists. And it could be a few different scenarios. Either it doesn't have the same amount of variations, the title, SKU numbers were a little bit different, therefore it wasn't able to automatically map it. And then the same thing when we come to the orange triangles, which always mean product needs review, which means that there weren't able to be categories or subcategories selected based off the titles. And then the product has a warning, meaning that the categories selected for that particular product during the mapping are not ones that support variations, but there are variations with that particular product the system was able to detect. However, even with these scenarios here, you are still able to find that existing eBay listing through a manual process here in the review map and list stage of your import. So the first one we'll go through here is our product that has warning. So these men's shoes here. So I know that this already exists in an actual eBay listing in the system. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the product itself. It'll load your product details here. And then for the manual part, we're going to go ahead and click Map to Existing Listing. This is where we're going to go ahead and it'll give you all products here will be ones that are not currently linked to a store product to select from. Okay, so this particular one recognizes that, hey, okay, the existing eBay listing has 4 variations as well as the product that we're importing here. So now what it's asking is making sure that we line up those particular variations so they sync properly. Okay, so here's the Shopify variant. And then because the existing eBay listing matches exactly, we're able to then also map it to the existing eBay listing variations as well. So now going forward, after we import, it'll begin to sync properly with that particular Shopify product. So we'll go ahead and click Save here. And then you'll notice what happened is the yellow warning triangle went away, and it's now showing the blue link symbol, which means it's now linked to an existing eBay listing. If for some reason you feel that you've accidentally linked it to the wrong one, or you've changed your mind and you don't want to link it, you want to just import your Shopify product as a brand new listing to eBay, you could certainly use the option here to unlink the listing, and then you can select it to import as new. So we'll go ahead and do this one. So this one's showing that there's 6 variations to the actual Shopify product. And then we'll go ahead and locate this actual item here. Make sure all your variations are there. And that's kind of a good checklist too, just to be sure that you've got all your variations correct as well. And then we'll do save, and we'll notice that now this one is going to show up as your linked products as well. We'll go back to the pendant earring single SKU product, so therefore we were able to map it just as a single SKU product. Okay, now moving on to this one here. So if we look, we see that this particular product here coming in from Shopify shows 6 variations. So now when we go to map it to the existing listing that shows in inkFrog here, okay, we'll see that this SKU right here for that same product, this SKU is showing 4 variations. So remember, this is the actual existing eBay listing. So in order to map existing eBay listings to Shopify products that are going to be imported, the variation set must match exactly. So the exact same number of variations, able to match it up exactly as the Shopify product is set up. So there's a couple different options here. So at this time, you wouldn't be able to map it to the existing listing. So most likely you'll want to just go ahead and remove this particular one from the import process itself because you're not able to map it currently. So you just come in here and do your product details and then remove it from the import. So what you'll want to do in that particular scenario is one of 2 things. If it's something that you realize on your Shopify product side that, oh shoot, you know what, I really only do have 4 variations available, or I haven't updated yet, or whatever the case may be, you can go ahead and update your Shopify product and then rebuild your import and then import it in to match the existing eBay listing. Or typically what will happen is the existing eBay listing was built prior to maybe adding in those 2 particular SKUs on the Shopify product. So you'll come into your inkFrog listing, you'll add in your additional variations to the eBay only listing currently, and then you'll be able to import and map your existing Shopify product because it'll have the same number of variations at that time. So at this point, since we've got all of our products here linked to existing listings, and again, you'll notice that by the blue link symbol here, and you can always double check your listings that you link them to as well by clicking on the product detail and coming into here. And when you click on this, it'll automatically bring you into the inkFrog listing itself. So you can maybe just double check and verify that, oh yeah, that is the correct listing, or whatever the case may be. And if you notice here in the edit listing page currently, it's showing eBay account, eBay market. At this time, there isn't anything showing in here that it's linked to a Shopify product. So that's what we're in the process of doing here. Now, after that's complete, when you go to your import and list, you can do one of two things. If the item is already live on eBay, you can select either option. You can select import and list to eBay. It will not duplicate a listing. Just going to link itself to that existing eBay listing. Or you can choose import only, and it'll have the same effect. And in this particular instance, because our existing eBay listings are already in ready status, I'm not quite ready yet to list them to eBay. So in this particular instance, I will use the import only so that they stay in ready status in inkFrog. Is that once they're done and they're linked, these particular products that we did this to, initially they were showing in the not linked to store tab here in our inkFrog account, but now we'll notice that those will be removed. All right. So we'll go ahead here, and now we see that they're imported from the Shopify account. So we'll no longer see those particular items in the not linked to store. Looks like we had one item that didn't come in through here, and that's okay. If something were to happen like that for some reason, then all you'll need to do is come back into your store connector. You'll rebuild your report. And then once this report rebuilds, we can go ahead and just attempt to re-import it. There's a few different scenarios that could potentially happen. It could just be, you know, as it's importing in, somehow in the connection services, it just, got dropped. And that's okay, but definitely if something like that happens, you get nervous, go ahead and definitely reach out to us. All right, so for now, I'm just going to exit out of here. I'm going to go back into my listing, go to my library. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to my imported from. All right, so now when we go ahead and click on listings that were originally showing not linked, once we come into here, the way that you're able to tell if a product is linked, first of all, you've got your filter options in your library. Secondly, when you click on an item as well. So initially when I showed the one item, it was only showing the eBay account, the eBay market. Well, now we've actually got your Shopify ID here that will take you back to your Shopify product if you needed to review that for any particular reason. So now going forward, these particular items are going to be synced based on your sync settings selected for the particular store that they were imported from. Now, if this were a live listing on eBay, above the Shopify ID box is where you would find your information for your eBay listing to click on it if you needed to. And then, so we've got this all connected, we've got everything in here. Now, depending on your sync settings that you have selected for that particular store, if you wanted to come in and make changes, add a new template, whatever the case may be, you need to make your pricing updates, as long as you're not syncing the pricing from your store into inkFrog to share with eBay, then you can go ahead and make those changes here, or you can do them through our bulk action as well. So it'll work just the same as everything else. But again, this is more so to show you the process of the mapping existing eBay listings to your existing Shopify or BigCommerce or Amazon product, whatever store you're actually importing them from. And then obviously you'll be able to see everything that's in your all saved listings will show absolutely everything. They'll show your ones that are not linked to your store, and they'll show the ones that are imported from your store as well. So again, you've got your filter settings whenever you're trying to separate out listings, I would highly recommend that you come into the all saved listings to go through and either do your not linked to store, linked to store. If there's partially linked to store, you can set up any of those particular filters to view those listings at any time. Okay, so, and then also too, during that import process, so as you saw with the triangles, with the, the orange triangle, the yellow triangle, those triangles will disappear when you link it to an existing eBay listing because everything's already filled out in that particular listing. Obviously, it's a different scenario when you're attempting to import as new when you come across the orange triangle or the yellow triangle instances. And we've always got our tutorials and everything available at your support.inkFrog.com. So there's additional information and materials there regarding this mapping process, as well as your bulk action updates, any FAQs, things like that. And again, we're always available through our support help desk as well. If you run into any issues, have any questions or anything of that nature. To quickly recap here, so your mapping to existing eBay listings has to occur during the import process. So it's just very key that you don't want to run into any duplicate listing scenarios if you've got the listings live on eBay. When you're importing and going through this import process, it's just very important to map those during the review, map, and list stage of importing in from your actual store into inkFrog itself, so you don't import new listings to eBay that already exist on eBay. And then we'll go ahead and go through this quickly one more time here. Find your shoe. Okay, and because we went through the process the first time, it's already automatically linked itself. This was one that originally came up, I believe, as a yellow or an orange triangle, but because we originally linked it the first time, it is now automatically linked itself here. And again, you can always check and double check your listing by clicking on the item, going to your product details, and then clicking on the title of the existing eBay listing to double check that. I'll give it just a moment here to complete. And then just keep in mind too that if you do have your order sync to on, so this is not a retroactive eBay order sync, so it only occurs for eBay orders to sync to your store for orders going forward once you've mapped the existing eBay listing to an imported store product. So orders going forward for these particular items, if they were live on eBay, so if one was purchased within the next couple hours or, just going forward from today, those orders will automatically sync to your store. So again, it won't be retroactive. It'll just be for going forward. Select. We will be posting this webinar on our support page as well, so that can be viewed. We'll be doing that within the next couple days or so. We'll have this up there, and again, please feel free to reach out to us if there's anything that we can help with directly, any additional questions or anything. And I'm not sure exactly what our next topic is going to be for our next webinar, but please feel free to submit any suggestions, anything that you guys may want to see. You can either email me direct, Michelle@inkFrog.com, with those suggestions, or you can also submit those to our support help desk as well. So we appreciate any feedback and anything that you guys want to learn more about. We're happy to put those on any upcoming webinars. So please just feel free to reach out and let us know. And we appreciate you joining us today, taking the time out of your day to join us for this webinar to get some additional information for the mapping to existing eBay listings. Thanks so much, and I hope everyone has a great day.